I think that people should take away with it that it's okay to be, what they want to be, and to look into the mirror and feel okay with what they see. Is what I'd like people to take from it.
The reason that we decided to make this album a self-titled record is because it's the first time that we felt like it was a record that embodies what the Cambiata has always wanted to do in a record.
Everything for the most part has its own place in each song, and things come and go rather than stay throughout. So there's a lot more space. There's still a lot of things going on, but everything is kind of taking turns.
I really hope that when people listen to this record, since it's such a colorful record and comes from so many different so many different places, that people will just really connect with it in their own way. Every time I hear something, it'll hit me in a certain way, and it might come out of a certain speaker, or it might be, doubled by something that makes it kind of, just give it this sort of edge.
I think the sound of the new album is kind of like the sound that we've always had. I'd say this album is a lot more poppy and maybe a little bit more digestible than some of our other stuff, but it's still the usual strange, frantic Cambiata nonsense.
They always push the boundaries of they build upon their last record and really take things in new directions.
Days away, left here by my own magistrates, waiting for the day to purge the girl from me, left here at my own surgery, waiting for
In the end, it was something that really stretched, like I said, stretched their boundaries, stretched my imagination, my boundaries.
I'm on the road, the place is sold, while it's history replaced inside my gut, sustain the hope, piece of a whole, while it's history replaced inside my golden gray malaise. So if it's me you're waiting to change, you can fuck right off. You just have to
Write things down that are in your head on a piece of paper and then give them to another person and have them play the stuff, and just to hear your ideas that are in your head just realized in real life. It's really interesting, kind of crazy. The string session on this particular album, we went to the USM Gorham campus and used one of their teaching rooms. Some other, highlights of that session were recording the percussion. We were able to do some bass drum stuff there, which you can hear on the first track, Changing Everything. We were also able to use some chimes, which were great. I was never an effects type of guy. I always thought, just playing guitar was the way to go. And then I got the Line 6 delay pedal, the big green one, and it has a loop function on it, which completely changed my way of playing altogether.
So I've started, I began messing around with loops and stuff, which I've never done before, and it was all really, really interesting. And you could play them backwards and make them really high pitch or really low pitch, and you can mix them all together, and it was neat. But I just had I had trouble because I could only make one loop per song. I couldn't play loops. There was no way to do it live. So I was like, what do I do? How do I do this? I want to have loops for each chord. What do I do? So I had this little recorder thing, and I came up with this way of, I'd make a loop of a chord, send it over to my recorder, put it on one fader, and then I'd make another loop of a different chord, put that on the recorder, and I'd keep doing that until I had enough chords and for the whatever chord progression of whatever song I was doing. And then to play it live, when that part would come through, I would just play the faders, and as a chord came up, I put the fader up, and then the next chord I just put that one up, and just that's how I would play the chords.
Hell's Kitchen, but they take the caps off all the fire hydrants. You know it is the hardest day of your life.
When we were recording the drums for Surgery, we went into kind of demo during pre-production, and there were no drums written at all. So I kind of sat down with Noah, and we sort of went through the song and sort of brainstormed where there should and shouldn't be drums. And it really kind of came down to the fact that the intro, verses, everything was fine the way it was. And then we kind of decided that maybe only have drums in the chorus and in the outro. So that way it kind of maintained that sense of having really specific dynamics. The drum groove was actually, a combination of an idea that Noah had, and just kind of the way that I had interpreted it. It's sometimes good to run off of sort of just playing through it and just kind of seeing what comes out naturally. A lot of times those first instincts are the best ones.
Took a left at your heart of thumbtacks, made a run.
Generally mixing is you go into a studio and you sit down for 16 hours a day for 3 days straight. You get no sleep when your ears are shot, and you're just listening to this, you're staring at these speakers and listening to this music that you've been spending 3 or 4 months on, and you start to lose your cool. The process this time around was our producer and engineer Noah Cole would go into his studio and edit what he thought was the important parts and mix down the songs and the sounds into the format that he thought was appropriate. He would then come back to us on a weekly basis for about, I want to say it was 2 months, give or take a couple of weeks, and we would give him our input on maybe what things should come up in the mix, what things should come down, a certain sound that we were looking for with the guitar.
We wrote the album to be short and sweet. We want people to keep wanting to listen after a song is done. We want the end to come before you even realize or before you even want it to end.
Look how your famous bachelor sits. He is old as the one before him.
Well, there are connections lyrically from song to song. There's the whole changing everything, first track, and you feel, this town will kill us all, this town will kill us all, changing everything. You're going to head out west and just going to move away. And then, the second track is Hell's Kitchen, which starts out with, I'm on the road, the place is sold, and also, again, with the contradiction theme of, if it's me you aim to change, you can fuck right off, whereas on the first track it's changing everything. So there are definitely lyrical themes that sort of flow into each other from song to song.